So in today's
Record
yeah, recording.
recording started.
Yeah. So in today's session, I will try to cover SAP S4 HANA deployment options, and also how user or we used to log in into SAP systems. What options we have to log in into SAP systems. Uh, may I request to mute who is unmute, like thank you. So yeah. So today I will try to cover this deployment options available for SAP S4 HANA, right? And the user experience, how enhanced, right? What is the difference with the traditional SAP GUI and now the new user experience developed SAP for S4 HANA itself, like SAP Fiori, right? So I will try to cover this topic today. So let's first go to deployment options. Why deployment option is necessary for us to understand? Because as an SAP consultant or working in SAP environment, we should be aware of what options are there for this particular business suite to be implemented at the when customer asks us, like so that's why it's good to know about this, right? It might not be very helpful in our daily or technical work which we do as a consultant, but yes, it is good to know in our discussion, business discussion and all, right? So So as you can see here, what I'm trying to mention here, like in our earlier classical ERPs, right? We say they were available on premise. When I say on premise, just try to understand that for every customer, specific infrastructure was developed by SAP. Customer has their own specific databases. They can have their own owned database, or they can take it from third party also. Like they can have vendor setup also. But this whole things, whatever solutions available, that was very much specific to uh, customer specific solution developed. Okay, and that was that particular ERP solution can be run on any database, and even including HANA, because as I said, right, HANA database is available from 2010, right, with all the functionalities of HANA features available, right? So if any business was interested to have a HANA database, right, where they can have OLTP and OLP functionalities together, right, coming together. So they can go for that database. Otherwise, they can use traditional databases, which was earlier used like Oracle or MS SQL most probably, most frequently, right? So so that was the solution there. Now with S4 HANA, what happened? As we know that technology is evolving, so much innovation is happening, and we might be hearing about so much about cloud now, right? So we all be aware that so much cloud is there. So that's what when S4 HANA solution got developed, and SAP has also come with the innovation and alignment that S4 HANA solution can also be deployed on cloud, right? So this S4 HANA solution which SAP has developed, it totally depend on business or clients or our customers whether they want it that to be on premise, okay, or they want to be on cloud. And both deployment option has their own benefits and own pros and cons, right? So that I will discuss here. So here I am trying to explain you that there are several kind of most of widely we say like four options are available for SAP deployment or SAP S4 HANA implementation. First is on-premise, which is as our traditional ERP or R3 solution was. Like when I say on-premise, it means like full focus is on that particular customer solutions. Okay, whatever solution, let's say one standard solution is given by SAP as an ERP application, right? So standard solution is there. Then customer can fully customize as per their need. And when I say on-premise, it means like all three layers, like presentation, application, and database layer, right? Architecture, totally customized and totally governed by customer. Okay, so that is totally depend. So that's what it is talk about that. So if it is for one customer only, so that that particular customer has full access for configuration, to extend the functionalities or to modify the functionalities without affecting any other uh, uh, customer functionalities, right? And in this case, on-premise solution which SAP is providing, right, which we will be learning actually on our practice, which we are doing, that is on-premise server only, like S4HANA 1909. So that particular SAP do the innovation cycle, yearly innovation cycles are done. It means like every year some new version upgrade comes up. So if customer interested and he says he look out that, okay, fine, uh, uh, this particular, like, we can say like SAP S/4HANA solution from famous one is like 1509, then 1610, then 1709, then 1809, then 1909, and today recent is 2020. Okay, so let's say someone is running on 1709, and 1809 comes up, and they said, okay, fine, some extra features are there, so they are compatible. Okay, they can upgrade without affecting much of the table structure or already solution which was there on 1709, right? Some more features are added without affecting your current solutions, whether it is customized or standard, right? But year innovation cycles are there on premise, and for this on-premise solution, traditional licensing are done yearly basis. Okay, so are there. Then there are private cloud. When I say private cloud, it means like a customer is not interested to manage hardware and all by themselves, right? Because that is very uh, kind of they need to maintain so many resources also, right? For taking care of databases or interface or security wise, all those things. So what user is in what customer is interested, okay, fine, I just want to handle my presentation layer solutions. Okay, I want to see some information that a screen I want, and after that, whatever application logic or whatever uh, database is there, that should be handled by SAP itself, right? We are They said that, okay, I am not interested to handle all your that particular solutions. Okay, so what we can say, like in on-premise, all solutions or whatever database, all those three layers architecture is controlled or governed by customer itself, right? Full control. But in a private cloud, this database and all those our application layer and all those things application are handled by SAP, and that is called SAP infrastructure. Okay, and here user what can do, they can do the customization, and if they want to upgrade or extend some so that they can do. Okay, and similarly here also they have all industry solutions available to them, and here in private cloud also they have yearly innovation cycles, and they can subscribe that, or a particular licensing they can do like 4 years, 5 years, or per year, like that they can do. Okay, then after that, uh, there is a public cloud solution also available. So what this public cloud solution is like, this is for basically, we can say, the customer who are they don't who don't have their much customized business processes. Okay, they follow standard business processes, because SAP, as an ERP solution, has been evolved and running across countries and across business or we can say enterprises, so with experience and so much of experience they have, like, from 1972 they are, right? So somewhere they are now near to 50 years old software, right? So this SAP as a product or application, right? So it understand, okay, fine, what all businesses, like if we say manufacturing business, right? So what all the business processes are there, so they standardized that particular solution. Okay, and if some customer is only interested with the standard process, right? So what they can do, they can go for public cloud solution. Okay, where they have the standard processes, and here if they want to configure and extend anything, so in public cloud, like they will be having their own like, so let's say three customers are uh, going to access that public cloud, public cloud solution, right? So everyone will be given, every customer like A, B, C will be given their particular uh, uh, what we can say, like boundaries, right? Okay, this much extra configuration and extension they can do, so that if they are doing any changes, it should not affect other customer, solutions and all those things, right? So yeah, they can configure and extend, but they can't modify the whole solution at right? They can't add some nodes and all those. But standard solution, if they want to customize somewhat here and there, okay, I don't want this particular uh, application or this particular solution. Okay, fine, no problem. That can be they do. Okay, or they if they want something extra, that also. But uh, whatever changes they do, it will not affect other uh, customers who are working on the same cloud. But the same thing, this process basically is standardized, and it's like they come with the like manufacturing industry are working only, so they will be having only manufacturing industry solution with them. And if they are working on logistics or SRM or something like that, they will have that particular specific solutions. So we can say like public cloud solution which is available, that is basically for mid-sized enterprises or small scale enterprises which are there, right? So they can also use cloud solution, and they can also move to SAP now, because as I told you, like this software particular SAP application or so this product is very expensive, like licensing and all is very expensive, correct? So that's why it was for big enterprises, right? But slowly and slowly, as I told you, like they have created many solutions, even in traditional ERP also, business one and all kind of solutions. And now in the cloud also, they come with the same approach, and that's why they have the public cloud here. Okay. After that, we can come to as we know that okay, fine, we have on-premise approach and we have cloud approach. But somehow sometimes some customer might be interested that no, I want some of my business processes to be run on-premise, where I should have all control over that. Okay. And other solutions should be on cloud, right? So what they can do, they can let's say just example which I'm trying to explain here is like a company which is multinational, right? They have offices let's say in across globe, right? But they are, let's say their head office is at one place, let's say in India, it's a Bangalore, right? So their head office in Bangalore, but that is they have their all MNC subsidiaries are there all across globe, like Australia, somewhere in Melbourne, or somewhere in London, or New York, like that. They have other offices, right? But what the business want, that okay, fine, in a headquarter whatever I do, that should be on premise. Okay. And for subsidiaries, I want solution to be on cloud. Okay, for subsidiaries I don't want to manage that hardware database and all those things, that should be taken care by SAP. There okay, I will just give the presentation layer access to users and all those things. They are okay. But for headquarter, I want to manage whole complete thing. Uh, and why they would like to have that approach, because anyway, end of the day, they will have for their subsidiaries information also will be moving to headquarters only. So let's say whatever data is done, and uh, from transaction or whatever data is maintained for subsidiaries like master data and all, that all might be their all transaction basis or whatever informational data they might be storing in our headquarter as per the subsidiary things, right? Company code of mind. I will come to that concept when we learn on enterprise structure, right? So what I'm trying, so here, so let's say like their core area, right? Core area of enterprise like finance, sales, inventory, and manufacturing. They can go for that on premise, right? Like that. Even not only subsidiary option, like solution wise also. Like the core area where they are working, like finance, sales, inventory, and manufacturing, they say, okay, fine, this I want on premise, but our enterprise solution like CRM or SRM, supplier relationship management, customer relationship management, or SLM kind of things like supplier product lifecycle management kind of enterprise solutions that I want on cloud, right? So they can go for that approach also. Okay. So in total, we can say that we have four approaches for SAP S4 HANA deployment or implementation. Okay. So any confusion here, guys?
No.
Okay, fine. So now we have covered our deployment options, right? So these main deployment options we are available with. Now let's go to our main part, which will be really interesting to us, where we will be most time working. Okay, so let's get to you now to that part. Till now we have covered all concepts, theoretical parts. Okay, all those things we have covered. Now let's come to a practical approach, which we'll be doing, which we'll be interacting with. that is our user experience or screens, right? Presentation layer. So here now SAP with S4 HANA, we have two options. One is SAP GUI, and second one is your SAP Fiori. So as I explained, might have in earlier classes, that GUI is a standalone application which runs on system on Windows or Mac, or your Apple Macintosh, right, or Linux also, and where the Fiori is an web-based applications which can run across several platforms, right? Like we have today, like PDS, like laptops, desktop, iPad, or mobile, right? So okay. So what happened? So let's understand our SAP GUI first. I will take you through this SAP GUI with system also. So what is SAP GUI? So SAP GUI, that GUI GUI, right? We say that GUI. Okay. So GUI stand for Graphical User Interface. Okay. And this is SAP's universal UI technology, like user interface technologies, like okay, for working with SAP system such as SAP ERP or SAP Business Suite. Okay, and this software runs on Microsoft Windows, Apple Macintosh, or Unix desktop also. And why you use SAP user interface? Because this is the platform from where we can remotely access the SAP central server in a company network, right? So you understand, like, so this is GUI is the one which is our presentation layer application. Okay. So now we come. So so for GUI, okay, fine. Let's understand from here. You can see this screen also, right? Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, fine. So now see what is there. This particular icon, when we install our SAP GUI, okay, we can install our SAP GUI uh, or mainly basically when we are working as a consultant, these all things when you get systems and all, basically basis, there's an SAP profile called basis, right? So those are actually our SAP administration persons or SAP security persons. Okay, so they install all, like in our any IT company, right? When we have a system, we have outlooks and all those things installed, right? So similarly, SAP basis person, what his responsibility is, that he in our system he installed these GUIs and all, and he gives our user IDs and password, like similar case, and he assigned with some user authorization and all, on basis of which we can run our SAP, access our SAP relevant uh, uh, business processes, applications, right, or transaction code. So I will explain what the transaction code mean here in SAP. Fine. So first of all, you will be having this icon. Okay. So just like any SAP Windows application, you just click on this icon. You will get to know. I'm just making it big. Here will be then SAP system here. Okay. So what is happening? This system also given by, like, administration and all. You will be having one thing. Tell me, you guys have SAP system by now or not? Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, we have.
Oh, wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. Okay, great. So what happened? So you all might have logged in from there, right? You might have clicked here, and you have seen some system description available, right? S4 HANA and all, right? So this is what system they have given, might have access, right? So what if you want to add some new system here? We can again go click here, then create on connections, and we can go next. We can give some description, application server if we have, right now I don't have, like, and we can give instance number, then system ID, and SAP router string if we are working on Macintosh, like Apple MacBooks and all. So we need a router strings many times. Otherwise for Windows standalone application, this works because many time we are working with the as I told, like company network, right? So VPN and all those things are there. So right now, like, we are accessing through web servers and all those things. So we are on that VPN. That's why we are able to access this system, right? So using this particular screen, this process, we can include any connection type when we want to add any other server if if these particular information are with us, right? And if you want, we can delete also all those things. We can change our workspace view also, how they should look, right? We can create workspaces local, or we can rename, right? If you want to create new subfolder or new entry, all those things we can do here. Okay. There you can explore here, right? Connections, then shortcuts, if any, if favorites any you want, right? If you have several systems, like right now for practice we don't have that many systems, right? But when you are working, you'll be having so many systems. Might be I will talk about like development system, quality system, then production system will be there. Then then you might have sandbox systems and all, right? So you might want to just categorize them under some folders and all, right? So have better place over there, right? So this all thing views you can play here, right? With this particular application here, GUI interface here, right? So like this, okay. Anyway, so I will come to here, and you are seeing this something here, SAP logon 750, right? So what does it mean? It means any software, right? This is also updating. So right now we have 750 here. Anyway, the newest is 760, but what we have here is 750. But no problem. This what they do, they just somehow some bugs and all. They help to resolve better weaving and all those things happens many times, right? But no, but this also will solve our purpose. But current is 760. Okay. Uh, now if you want to log in, right? So you just come here and double click. So you can see so many things here, right? Uh, okay, I will explain these all things, but we can you most important which we need to understand when we log into any system, right? So we will be given this client, right? As you can see here in my system, which I'm using here, I hope you guys also have same some similar kind of things. So there are two clients they have made, and I'm saying what this all functionalities are done by basic people. All these setup they do. Okay, this is their domain or their work area, right? So they give us, and then administration they give us credentials, right? So user ID and password, and they give us login language. So before we want to log in, we should have this much information, like uh, we say our user information. This much information should be shared with us. Then only we will be able to log in into any system, right? So I will give my user ID, like this is my user ID, and I have given my login language is English, right? So if anyone want to work with another languages and all, they can log in that also. But our login is English, okay, and we will enter. So as we enter, we can see so many screens here, right? So let's understand what all this is, right? Hey, you come down. Okay. So that's what I was telling here, that for logging to SAP system, we must know which system we are want to log on, right? So that all details, server details and all. Then we should know our client number, our user ID and password. So this client number and all will come, like client is the highest hierarchy in any SAP in SAP's word, right? Organizational hierarchy. We will come to detail when I will talk about organizational structure. But right now you should understand that we should have a client number with us, right? So this client number only uh, help us to specific system login, right? Because you can see at that system they created two instances, 100 and 400. So 100 which I am allowed to log into, right? 400 I don't have access, right? So that's what. So we should know our client number also, and we should decide which system we want to, or which language we want to log on to, right? So once that done, we come to SAP GUI here, right? And in SAP GUI, this screen which you are seeing, we have five uh, uh, bars here, right? So this top one is called menu bar, okay? And this one, just let me relate with this. Okay, okay. So here you can see. So this top one they are called menu bar, okay? So where we have uh, all menu listed functionalities which can perform from this particular screen, right? Extras and all system settings and help we can use. I will go some important one by one, which we can use for daily use, which are useful to us. Then many more are there, which can be explored as you work on them, right? Then this one is called standard toolbar. Okay, you can this is command field. Okay, I will tell you that what is the use of this command field. Then this is some title bar here. Then this is application bar. Okay, here. And then this is SAP screen, which we see here, SAP screen. Here we can create our SAP favorites, SAP menu. Okay, I will let you know what is the use of this favorites and SAP menu, why they are there and why this is screen here. And this down one where this SAP is there, here if you run any application, right, sometimes you save and all. I'm just trying to enter one here. So here anyway, if you save anything on here, see you see some status here, right? Which system you're logging to and all those things details are there, right? S4 HANA 100 and all. So this is your client 100 and see if you want you can check your login. If you want you can check your transactions. Okay, all those things if you want you can select and that is those status will be seen here, right? So this all become useful when you are running to many like this system information can be useful to you when you are running parallelly several systems, right? So what you can do, you just in the status bar you can open here, right? This practical uses, right? Daily uses thing. So you can open it here, and once you are then when you are toggling between system screens, right? So you can understand, okay, fine, this is S4H100, something I'm doing in quality system, something in production system, right? So you can use this to toggle between, and this if you're open, I just recommend this that you open this so that you you should not confuse yourself to like something you want to do in one system and you are ended up doing in other system, right? So that's what it's good to always have this status bar open and with having our system details here, right? Okay. So fine. So I entered some shortcut here, slash and slash. So I will tell you those shortcuts also. And sometimes some commands are there. So okay. So this is GUI window. This is the menu bar. This is the standard toolbar. When I say standard toolbar, I just mention again, like if I go to FB70, right? You see this toolbar remains kind of same, right? The same. Sometimes they become activated as per the screen. Okay. Sometimes they get deactivated, right? So this is standard toolbar SAP provide. These are application toolbar available with this. This is a title bar, okay, where your transaction, whatever you are entering, that particular title is here, and this all is screen where you enter your data and all, right? So anyway, guys, saying it will stop in 5 minutes, but anyway, we'll continue, and if once it stop, I will go to another screen, another meeting link, okay? So fine. Uh, so I am using slash n here. Slash n is to like close this particular window. Okay, in SAP we could say session also, right? So we understand this SAP GUI screen part, right? What this all about? Okay. Now let's talk about like if how to access particular um, uh, application or as an user, right? As an user, if you let's say if you want to enter customer invoice, right? We can relate to that. So one way is we go to SAP menu here. You can see so many nodes available as per our business or as per our what we say useful like logistics information needed things are here. Accounting related all transaction codes or will be here. If you are working on human resource module, then they are here. Okay, and this increases also as so, we have more and more uh, uh, what we say like applications installed for our ERP system, right? So, but anyway, we will be focusing on accounting, right? So we go here and here see this financial accounting. Under financial accounting, so many things are here, right? So for our purpose, what I'm going to show here, I go to financial accounting, right? And let's say account receivable, like something customer, then I go to document entry, right? So it's saying here FB70 invoice, right? So uh, FB70 is the transaction code which we can fastly access entering FB70 in our command field. Okay, like here we enter, we come here, right? And here are some specific required field. Okay, I will tell you how this required field, other why it is not allowing me to go back like this, which is asking me to specify account number. Okay, so if I enter, let's say something with this anyway, I don't think it is validating here, right? So let's get back whether it is, no, so it's validating also, right? So these all settings are there. So let's close this again. So I entered here same thing. From here also I can get into same thing. And one more path which I would like to tell you, you can add this to your favorite here. This, okay. So you see now FB70 is there. So what it means, like if daily this transaction is coming up, right? You use these transactions a lot, so you can use it in your favorite. No need to come again and again to this SAP Easy Access menu path and use it, right? So these three way of accessing any transaction code are there. So I hope this is also clear, right? Guys, hello, please confirm.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
fine.
yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. So now, okay, I don't want to close this. I just want to minimize. Okay, fine. So this we talked about SAP GUI window here, right? We understand all this, how there and what three ways to enter our transaction codes, right? Now let's understand our what this screen SAP Easy Access. Okay, what we follow, what we all can achieve from this Easy Access. So, Tirtha, as you worked as an user also, right, for SAP, right, sometime back. So, you might be every time accessing this particular screen only, right? Easy Access, you might be entering some particular transaction codes, right? From there, and you might be maintaining some data. Let's say if you are responsible for AR area, and only specific functionality which was given to you was like SAP customer invoices, right? So what you can do, you might enter this start transaction, right? FB70 kind of thing. So if you set it here, so what will happen whenever you log in, it will go to this transaction code directly, kind of thing, right? So I will just not go to it again. I need to undo that thing. But I am telling you, this you can use, right? Set to start transaction. If as a user, but anyway, now we are going to work as a consultant, so many times we don't do this. But the users can you do in the users basic